Narendra Murkumbi, Managing Director of Shree Renuka Sugars, joins us. Narendra, good morning and thank you for joining us. Secretly, are you happy given what's happening to Brazil? It's drought and it's bad weather, but sugar prices have gone up, and that I'm sure is good news for an Indian sugar maker.
Yes, sugar prices seem to have bottomed somewhere in early January, and prices are on the international market are about 20% higher and domestically about 25% higher from there. Production is moving from a surplus in 2013 to a deficit in 2014. Domestically also, I think we have, thanks to the export subsidy scheme, stock should be down to about 3 months consumption by October.
Right. Then the sugar prices, according to you, they have bottomed out. But do you think sugar prices in the short term may just hang in there? So they may stop falling, but they may not start rising also.
Well, domestic market, we have seen a 25% rally since 1st of January. I think it needs to consolidate at this level. But going into the off-season and peak summer consumption period, we do see the scope for another 1 or 2 rupees per kilo hike. Beyond that, post-June, I think the main cue will be the onset of the monsoon and the progress of the monsoon, because we don't have extra stocks. So next year's production is critical for the price formation for the next 18 months.
Narendra, the price rise, of course, has been quite sharp. Sugar prices have rallied, what, 20% in just the last few weeks. Do you think this kind of appreciation is sustainable?
I think it is consolidating now at higher levels, and prices were beaten down quite a bit in the peak season because there's a lot of pressure on farmer payments. Also, the world market was very weak. But subsequently now almost 17 lakh tons of sugar has either been exported since October or is committed for export and will go out in the next couple of months. So altogether, there has been a significant reduction in inventory. On top of that, against early estimates of production this year of 25 million tons, we are going to end up only just a shade lower than 24 million tons. So there is a reduction in production as well. So all these have, I think, prices therefore are have risen and are stable at these higher levels. And further price movement will depend on the monsoon now.
Do you think till the time we don't have a sound cane policy in place, Indian sugar sector or Indian sugar industry is not going anywhere?
No, in fact, there have been 2 major changes at the central government level. I think controls on sales side have all been dismantled last year, including levy sugar. And in the states of Karnataka and Maharashtra, we have moved to a full-fledged revenue sharing formula, which actually will stabilize crushing margins for producers in these 2 states. And that's nearly 40% of production. I think these very important and long-term changes were overshadowed by the bearishness caused by the global surplus and surplus stocks in India over the last 6 months. Going forward, these factors should become more apparent in terms of more sustainable profitability for the sector, at least in the states where cane pricing reform has already happened.
So, how's the jump in domestic prices impacted exports?
I think a bulk of the exports have already been shipped out while domestic prices were low. So out of 1.7 million tons which we estimate for the current sugar season up to September, almost 1.4 million tons has already been shipped or is at the ports, and another 300,000 tons is committed. So it's more or less done. We are not counting on any incremental exports from here on, because the domestic market is now paying better than the world market.
Walk us through the current inventory level for the Indian sugar industry, and do you think strong supply from sugar mills is unlikely to hit the market, because most of the sugar mill owners are likely to retain or are likely to maintain high levels of inventory with the assumption that in the second half they will get better realizations?
1st October, stocks were about 7.6 million tons, which is high, nearly 4 months of consumption. But thanks to exports and a lower than expected production, that would drop to between 5.5 to 6 million tons on the 1st of October 2014. Right now, seasonally, we are just finishing the production season, so stocks are high. But there is no selling pressure because last 6 months mills have sold quite an amount of sugar, almost 2 million tons a month, and serviced the cane payment or a bulk of the cane payment. Therefore, going forward, we see less selling pressure as the season ends and cane payments are already completed.